Hey, hello. It's been Azlan, and I'm a developer. And thanks for giving me a chance on that. So I just investigated about the line the whole architecture and the whole crisis. So I found many issues on that. So therefore, I prepared this slide. So let me go through it on that. So the question is like, why like our HR board is like send deployed to Amazon? Like it asked about the basic glasses. So and then it goes from there and you re-ask the questions, and then again and again, then user like feedback so negative, like the employees in a handbook and citation, there is answer, but it goes to Amazon. So it works as a normal LLM, like the GPT for women is here. So it like spend producing like confidentiality. One straight line. There is no tool calling. There is no tool call to knowledge base. There's nothing like tool calling to use for that. Perfectly answered, like where to answer it from with citations. There's no reference, no tool call QR00, just conversation straight from end to the end, from start to the end. So it's like general like knowledge of the GPT LLM is used. It always work like that. But why it work with the what is the root cause that I just point is like is that like it is basically we have like in the prompt template I see like there is like specifically you guys mentioned that don't answer the question yourself and always forward to them to the appropriate agent and use the right tools. So for this the right tool is word knowledge. So it know the knowledge is the right tool. So the agent use so the HR the supervisor forward to the HR. The HR knows the knowledge the main source of the all questions. So by its own instruction it went to the knowledge base. Sorry, it went to the knowledge base, but it never use it. It never tool call it. Basically, you can see here, I just paste a screenshot from the language trace. So I just paste the screenshot half. So it's the full conversation. It was totally six. So in this between, you said there is just content. There is no tool call use. I also check the metadata, which I'll show you later. There's no tool call. So the main source of the knowledge, the question. So it's by its own. If follow the instruction like this question belongs to the knowledge assistant. So why didn't go there? So look at the actual API call is that I showed. The input content only messages. So the delegation happened like tool calls and zero tool calls were bound to the model. It's actually there's no bound of the tool calls. So the agent didn't go like didn't obedience on that and has no way to forward that query to the tool, the knowledge base by tool call. So supervisor was commanded to forward every question. It was just commanded to forward the question, but not commanded to the right way. Like it will go to knowledge agent and knowledge agent. What it will use? It will use knowledge base. So the tool call is the main process from here. Like in the metadata, I just retrieve the metadata. So in you can see in the metadata, there is no tool call, and there's like all the agent name. So it from the shop floor GPT agent is on default. It go from here to here, but there's nothing. So it and the second thing in the prompt we never mention about the company, like as an internal assistant, the HR, midware, like or employees, like the employees handbook and the internal policies in the document source. So basically, whenever you are using agent and using LLM, LLM is basically the brain, and your knowledge base is the basically your locally private knowledge. That you LLM is like retrieving the data from the there in the form of vector. It's like vector database. So from the data like from the document, so it retrieve the data. And a single German example of the imply question, like it results in there, like as a consumer, like it act like as a like to forward that consumer to the Amazon because GPT is online and we know when we need any glasses, we need anything, so we have to buy from the online sources. So the fourth, and this was the prompt issue that I specifically mentioned, like the root cause issues that the prompt, like there was no the prompt, and then there's no tool call, no functions, no tool choices. So in this architecture and delegations, let me go you through on that. I just open the. So this is like it go from here, then shed, the generalist, and then end. There's nothing. So there's no tool calling, just content, and nothing is used. Therefore, please just and never get any time on that and answer braggly on the confident way with the confident and with the wrong answer and the no citations. So that was the issue here. After that, we have like many other issues like the routing leaves like no traces like I showed you previously. Like here, you can see there is like unchanneled right debug is 0 second and branch generally is 0 seconds. So like and the only like routing to the channel like right brush is just get a like 0 second on that. So it basically in the metadata like that. Let me show you the screenshot for the first one. For this one, I just paste the screenshot. Like you can see it. Like there's like empty in like strings. Like you can see on that. Like I searched on the entire 1100 tokens prompt. Like no company names, no HR, no employees handbook, no rules. Like the internal rules, which are very important for that. So like in a German example, so when employees say I need glasses, the model has no reason to think on the benefits. Like it should know on the intent. Is it about the benefit incentives and the subsidies of the internal company board. So internal company files, so board should go on there. That's exactly why it's asking about brands and coding. And the fourth thing, citation exists, but it's unenclosed. A citation machinery is like built on two or more like quick, two or more, three like and a four like maybe. The routing decision is like invisible here. First on that, so the routing invisibly, and the second thing is like no, like there is like no time, there is 0 second, like no null cause, no reasoning, hidden debug level, and when routing fails, like here, it failed. So there is no literally nothing like language to inspect on that. So as there I think about that, there is an observability. There's also observability gap. So we need to have observability gap to on that. And the fourth is ironically, I did the citation like exist, but the reference feed is like a rule preserved like source market on that. But it like never force internal answer through it. Like if in case it answered, like it answered as perfectly as in feedback, the user says is the velocity on the subsidy of the company. So it should answer the correct, but with the citation, like from where it answered. So I'll show in the upcoming slides. So this was the example like here. So is end, the output is end in the journal list. It directly 0 second it's end, it never give answer. And like this will show also the zero latency. So we actually like happen like what should like trace look like? So the question is like come in my mind. So then I search it about it. So I think of to build the slide. So after that we can work on that. So the supervisors like from the supervisors now knowing if like employees asking like what you should been PC like back then. So it's about asking of the glasses. So it should go to the supervisor. So supervisor have like intent, like what user intent to the HR and the supervisor know about that. This is the HR identity plus internal first rules. It always enforce on the internal first rule. So the query, it go to the knowledge engine and the knowledge tools will be called and a query rewritten. So it's in the Dutch language. So it rewritten in the like few short prompting examples. And then it go to the handbook. It answer like in 70 the application step on the retrieve. Like it give answers and also with the steps, like what did happen, how the answer come into the front. And like on the turn to is give like this, like it wrote here like these glasses and in the 5.11 handbooks in the employee, and also give the steps and the reference. So ground cited in Dutch and cheap, which is like basically a cheaper and faster. So cheaper and faster is better than a wrong answer. So according to the employee handbook, like it said the 5.11, you are like, entitled to the subsidy. Here you apply. So here you can apply with the cited and all of that. It's basically go from here. Like now it work on employee to supervisor. And supervisor may sometime know where to route the call because you can explicitly enforce the supervisor never answer it by its own. So you can never answer it by your own. You have to forward this to perfect agent, which can answer on that. So, but supervisor don't know about that. Internal files of the company name, roles, because roles are so important. On the point, you have to mention what is your role, what are you basically working, what you're working about, and where you will direct, because supervisor is the main point of the orchestration, which orchestrated into all of things. So then go to the knowledge and then knowledge base and then retrieve the answer inside and cite it on. So and basically it worked on this, like the role internal HR for company, like filling the like the empty instruction in the field, like the company name, the internal document, like the knowledge and the single source truth, and enforce into internal first. Like whenever user asks, go to the internal first, because most of the time it will be internal. If there is no answer on the internal, instead of the wrong answer, this is like this is the best prompting. That go on the source what we have in the knowledge. If we have no on that, so instead of wrong answer, you can say I don't know about that. Instead of like giving wrong answer, and in the prompting, like read out the prompting, like read out the promptings like few short prompting example, like giving the internal answers, basically, and like all the close PCBLA versus like vocabulary gap, like ground cited internal answers, and the user feel like yeah, which exactly like what the user feedback is asked for. And rule 5 is like maximize always the one clarified questions. like plus German few short examples and including the exact failure case on the right. You see which were done in your case. So then I configured around that how it works. It's never about the alone. It's never about the prompting because I just no. Let me show you about the prompt. This is my repository. Yeah, I just like write the prompt. Like your internal HR employee support assistant to manufacture the company employees ask you company policies, benefits, equipment, and internal process. This is a single source of truth of all such questions. Like this is the proper prompt and their core rules, the internal first, the default and not to knowledge and query, clarifying the budget, language. This is the important way, like ground citation. This is the all the rule what I explained for you. And this is like if like we basically work on that and we improve it, then it answer will be like that. According to Ply handbook, it will be on the 5.11 and you are submitted subsidies and with the header steps and also with the grounded in cells, like grounded knowledge source answers. Then I wrote there, but let me show here in short. So like a better prompt, like I think is not a fix because a better prompt will work for 1 and 2 days, and when we scale it, it will fall on that because it is developer fixed on the high priority, like arrange the knowledge tools and the supervision model calls and verify agent assistance and the UI. And because if we work on this iteration, then it will work. And then on the instrument routing in the line views, like even the delegation decision, because observability is the main thing, because within we have observability and the reasoning, we can know like where the next failure will work, will be happen and how we will reduce that. And harder retrieval, like I work on the BM25 plus vector, which is like very good on the German compound noun, synonym expansion and low confidential level. So that will be like dev and then prompting, which will be like work on the scale. So this is the proofs like what I think if we have got data, and this will be the way on the German handbook topics in the form of phrasing on the same topics, reprompting on the same thing, like baseline run, like new prompt version, rerun the dataset and compare the experiments. And this will be the evaluator targets, and this how will be it will fixed, and this will be the strategy. Like we work on the prompt first. I know about that because I read all your 1800 plus prompt words on the prompt template in the line views. And then I look at that, which is like very vague and not specifically and structurally correct prompt for that. After the prompt engineering, it work on the observability and the vector search side work. After that, we work on that and test it on this benchmark on the 95% matching exact match on the because we have like semantic search and the word keyword search. We can use a hybrid keywords. We can use a hybrid search on that. And the retrieval heads top 5 or top 5 10 chunks. And after that, we have like groundness and correctness and LLM judge. We can threshold on 0.9 citation present, and we represent the regex, a keyword matching on the regex, and also in the cost and the production side, we will work on that, which will call the bug. So this will work in a better way. So the board was like, it was, for example, the bottom line is like the board was told to ask a librarian, but was never given a way, a path to reach a librarian. So, and was never told what companies work for. So like it's a blind work. So therefore, like every claim, I will work, I look at every claims, the cheap facts and the repetible. So there's all the facts and the understanding from my side. So we'll work on that and we can make it work. Yeah, thank you for having me in the center.